Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mod. Welcome to our Falcons news rumor video here on a Thursday. A lot going on in the world of Atlanta, including Dante Fowler being released. Let's jump into the latest Falcons news and rumors, starting with, of course, Dante Fowler, as we just mentioned, being released. Coming up on, what was it, yesterday, we got the news that they went ahead and cut him, or I guess released him is the nicer way of saying it, meaning he's no longer with the football team and is free to go ahead and begin his offseason search for a new football team. You know, the initial take on this was, oh wow, they're cutting Dante Fowler, that's surprising. And then you actually read into it and you go, oh wait, Dante Fowler was already going to be a free agent in March when the new league year begins, and so releasing him now essentially just gives Dante Fowler more time to find a new team. Not that he knew that he was already going to be let go, but there was still that thought maybe they could re-sign him on a cheap one-year deal. Not the case. Fowler now enters free agency. The NFL Network has a good quote on Fowler. We'll throw that up on the screen right now. Quote, 27-year-old initially signed a 3-year deal with Atlanta in free agency in 2020, but Fowler agreed to reduce his contract or his salary in 2021 with a chance to earn more in incentives and add the void year. In 2 seasons with the Falcons, Fowler started 19 of 28 games played, logging 7.5 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, and 4 forced fumbles. Buckshot was a far cry from his standout 2019 season, which he piled up 11.5 sacks to the Los Angeles Rams, former number 3 overall pick in the 2015 draft, also spent multiple weeks over the last 2 seasons on injured reserve and the COVID-19 list, end quote. A good summary there. I mean, that's literally exactly what happened with Dante Fowler in Atlanta. Of course, signed off of the, 11.5 sack year with the LA Rams a couple of years back, just trying to bolster the Falcon pass rush, give them some sort of life there, rushing the passer. Do you chalk it up to injuries being the issue there? Do you chalk it up to the fact he just was never that good? Either way, he did not produce at the level that many Falcon fans wanted and expected him to, leaving now yet another hole on the Falcon defensive line. Now, not a surprising hole, because again, we didn't really expect the Falcons to go ahead and re-sign him this offseason, but as you now look at the updated Falcons defensive line depth chart, boy, it needs help. And that's why as we get into some more content later on in today's video, you'll see anyone who's mocking a wide receiver with the first overall draft pick of the Falcons in the 2022 NFL Draft is nuts, because look at this defensive line. You've got to improve the defensive line. You've got to be able to find ways to get to the pass or to get to the passer in Atlanta. You know, whether Fowler was going to be there or not, just still wasn't able to get there to any sort of actual extent. And so Fowler released, not a big surprise, but the timing is a little bit earlier than some people would have thought. Was cutting Fowler the right move? Did you want to try and re-sign him for one final year? Let me know what you think that down below. If it was the right move, type Y down below for yes. If it was not, go ahead and type N down below for no. All right, speaking of someone that we actually have confidence in, because there are a lot of Falcons that I don't think I have a ton of confidence in. The roster still remains to need some rebuilding. Kyle Pitts. And the Kyle Pitts jerseys right now are yours to be had at chatsports.com/Pitts jersey. Pick up your jersey of arguably the best Falcon currently on the team, right? Maybe A.J. Terrell mixed in there, maybe Grady Jarrett, but we're all excited about Kyle Pitts, especially after that monster rookie year. Go ahead and pick up his jersey. All different kinds, all different colors, all different sizes are available right now. chatsports.com/Pitts jersey. That link will be down below me right now in the description box. The offseason, in my opinion, best time to get your jersey. That way, it's ready to go week 1. We don't have to order it week 1 and then wait a couple of weeks for it to get there. Get it now. Pick it up. You'll look great in it. chatsports.com/Pitts jersey. That leads us into Todd McShay, ESPN's mock draft expert, or I guess NFL draft expert, with his latest mock draft. And I'm a big Todd McShay fan. I've said that a lot of times here on the channel. I like him more than Mel Kiper. I think he's more right more often than Mel Kiper. Met him a couple of times. Really nice guy. But I cannot even fathom the mock draft that he went ahead and put out regarding the Atlanta Falcons. Now, it's a first-round mock draft, and so it's not just a Falcon draft, but we're going to focus on the Falcon pick at number 8 overall. And it's just... it's not good. Like, you're not going to like who he has the Falcons taking. It just doesn't make sense, and I'll explain why here by first showing you who they have him taking. So at number 8 overall, Todd McShay has the Falcons taking Drake London, the giant wide receiver out of USC. Now, Drake London is a wide receiver. That's an instant problem. But as we'll see what Todd McShay has to say, coming off an injury as well, I don't like this pick at all. Here was McShay's thoughts on the London pick. Quote, a team has used top 10 picks on pass catchers in back-to-back drafts 3 times since 1967. This might seem odd for a roster that just went 7-10, but the offense could lose 5 of the 8 players who had at least 70 receiving yards last season to free agency. It's possible Falcons additionally looked to trade Calvin Ridley, who played in 5 games last year, while taking time off to focus on his mental health. London, meanwhile, was on his way to a massive campaign for USC before breaking his right ankle in October, end quote. Right? So is he wrong about the wide receiver issue? No, the Falcons have a massive wide receiver issue. But we're talking about, one, a team that is just devoid of defensive talent. They need pass rushers and maybe a cornerback as well. but also a wide receiver who broke his ankle midway through the season last season? I don't know. I just don't buy it. Also, the issue is, look at some of the players that essentially the Falcons would have passed over if they take London at number 8 overall, according to McShay's mock. Derek Stingley, maybe the best cornerback in the draft, he was not there. Garrett Wilson, maybe, I think, a better receiver out of Ohio State, he was still there. Tyler Linderbaum, you want to improve the offensive line? How about the best center in the draft? He was there. Trayvon Walker, Georgia pass rusher, any dog fans out there? Yeah, he was there. George Karlaftis, I think the third best pass rusher in this draft behind Thibodeau and, of course, Hutchinson, he was there as well. That's my problem. Like, I like Todd McShay. I get what he's doing here in terms of saying, well, you're going to need to throw the ball for football to somebody, get a monster and physical guy like London, but you can't go wide receiver at number 8. And if you go wide receiver at number 8, don't get the one who just came off a massive injury. Like, ankle injuries, a broken ankle is a big deal. Think about how slow and careful the Dallas Cowboys were with Dak Prescott when he fractured his ankle, right? It's not something you just bounce right back from. I'd rather a guy have an ACL versus an ankle injury, in my opinion, because ACLs, I think, are healing at a lot quicker rate and are a lot more stable in terms of cutting. It's my opinion, not a doctor, than ankle injuries. So London is an issue for me right off the bat. As a football team that needs defensive help, and passing up on Karlaftis and Walker and Stingley and Gardner and Ajabo, like, there are too many good defensive players to pass up on, and so I will renounce McShay's mock here. It'll change. He has to do like 80 of these mocks between now and April, but not a big fan of this one at all. And I'll leave it up to you guys. Grade this mock. How would you feel about taking Drake London at number 8 overall? Grade McShay's pick A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comments section. Make sure you guys are subscribed, because any new updates to McShay's mock, or my own mock drafts, as you'll see we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as we try to go ahead and keep growing the Falcons Today channel, as we try to give you guys the best, most up-to-date, and quickest Falcons news, rumors, reports, mock drafts, free agent stuff, everything regarding your Falcons here. If you like our stuff, go down below and subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. All right, final story here today on a Thursday, Odell Beckham Jr. Yes, so of course we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. As a possible free agent signing for the Falcons. SI.com thinks that it would be a perfect fit. Now, of course, OBJ coming off of a torn ACL, and so the expectation here, as we'll see with SI.com's quote in just 1 second, is that he'll be on a cheap one-year deal and could pair very, very nicely in the Arthur Smith offense, alongside, of course, Calvin Ridley, to fill the hole at wide receiver that Todd McShay was talking about, that, of course, is massive this offseason. Here was SI.com on OBJ, quote, with Beckham Jr. being such a go-get-the-ball receiver, one can only imagine how involved he would be in the Atlanta offense. And while the chances the Falcons can sign Beckham are slim, they have to try. There is his rehab to consider. Maybe that lowers his price. And then there is this. Now that he has a ring, Beckham Jr. can focus once again on jaw-dropping catches, putting up big numbers and being the focus of attention like he did early on in his career with the Giants, with a good locker room guy showing up in Atlanta without the young OBJ silliness, end quote. That's kind of a... I don't know, lost over the idea that, oh, for sure, he's just going to be, a good guy OBJ and no drama there. I didn't guarantee it. Listen, I wouldn't hate the idea of getting Odell Beckham Jr. I think he is extremely talented. I think he'll be fine after the knee injury. That doesn't really concern me. I think he would thrive in Atlanta. Does he want to actually come to Atlanta, though, is a different question. But they're going to get rid of Calvin Ridley, so you got to sign somebody, and so OBJ is a name to throw it on there. I don't think it's likely, but it's at least something to talk about here as we continue to look at possible free agent targets for the Atlanta Falcons. We'll end on this question. Do you want OBJ in Atlanta? If you do, type OBJ for yes. If you don't, shout out to our producer for going ahead and putting this question out there, and Jeffrey saying no BJ for no, N-O-B-J. No BJ, that's good. Let me know what you guys think. I'm fine with it. We'll see what kind of drama he would bring. Maybe he wouldn't bring any. Maybe catch 100 balls and be a 1,200-yard receiver. That'd be great. I'll see what you guys think down below. All the time we have for today on our Atlanta Falcons news and rumor video. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed. Plenty of great content coming up as we roll into the weekend and the next week as we roll through the month of February, trying to get you guys ready for free agency coming up in March, and of course the NFL draft. Again, for Atlanta Falcons today, Thomas Mott signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.